So the videos have to start from somewhere, and I guess the beginning is a good place to start. I guess the first place to start is period tracking. So if I pull on my phone here, I use the Clue app, as I'm sure most women seem to nowadays. I really like it, it's amazing. I pay I think it's 99p a month to get like the premium service where it forecasts things for you and you get a bit more of a breakdown, and they'll notify you if your periods seem to be off or whatever. So I prefer to use it that way, because I think why not get, it tells me my general cycle length, my average period day length. It's just a really good app to use. Tells you your current cycle. You can go through all your cycles and things on here. Mine is a little bit out on some because I've used it and then stopped using it, and it remembers all your old things, which is amazing. So you can see I've just had my period and I'm about here. So currently I'm cycle day 9, and I generally have like a 28 to 29, 28 and a half, as you saw is what it said, day cycle. So that means that in theory around day 14, ovulation day, so golden day I suppose. Before we get into like the fertile days and all those sorts of things, what have I done in between that time to prepare myself and my body and like get in the best health that I can? Now, any of you who may have come from my old channel that I was talking about that I, once upon a time was using, you might know that I live or I try and eat a mostly plant-based diet. It's not perfect yet, so I don't want to say I'm fully vegan because I don't want the vegan brigade to come after me. I don't eat meat, and I rarely eat anything I never eat eggs. I don't really ever often have dairy, and that was a choice that I made long before we started thinking about making the next step. It actually started off for more like health reasons. As much as I've always been an animal lover and things, I don't think I would have been motivated if it wasn't for health reasons. And then eventually I just kind of did more research into the reasonings behind, the ethical reasonings behind eating that way, and it's kind of a mixture of the both why I live the way I do, I suppose, or try to. So lots of people ask the question on how would I have a healthy pregnancy but also plant-based, because lots of people have this huge fear that you are missing out on all the nutrients you need. Now realistically, the only thing that I supplement, and it's only because it's harder to get, I don't even know if you can get B12 without eating meat, because it's found in the bacteria, I think, of naturally of meat, like cows and stuff, red meat I think. So the only thing I make sure, like the only thing realistically to keep me healthy, just myself, that I supplement, there's actually 2 things, is I take a vitamin B complex tablet every day, purely because that's the only thing, if I was lacking something, I feel that might be it. I don't eat enough things that are fortified with vitamin B12 and that to negate taking that supplement. And the only other thing I take to keep myself feeling healthy, not growing anything else, is vitamin D. And I went to the doctors a long time ago and they told me I was deficient in vitamin D, and that could have been making me feel more tired and things. But also I live in England, and although we had a nice summer this year, we have mostly autumn, kind of winter weather, cold, dark days, especially the winter time. You don't really see the sun because it's only really out in working hours and I work inside. So I take vitamin D for just generally because you can't really get it if you don't have the sun, and it's really recommended. Mostly anyone in England takes vitamin D anyway. So if you're planning to have a child, now not everyone is planning it, so this can't always be a definite thing, and it's not a must-have or you won't get pregnant sort of thing, but it's something that I would like to do and be in the best shape as possible. So the last thing I take now is folic acid, and you can start taking this, like they recommend 2 or 3 months before you want to start trying. So I've been taking it for a little bit of time now, just because we don't, I just wanted to be prepared. Other than that, I eat a relatively well-balanced diet. The crazy thing is I might do a whole video on this, and maybe I'll do a whole, like a little series of, if and when we do get pregnant, I might do a series of like healthy eats while I'm pregnant, but also making sure I get all the nutrients what I eat in a day and all those things. Yeah, I eat a well-balanced diet most days. Then on to like the now and the beginning, and I want to kind of document weeks and momentous things, and then maybe like put it together into a more condensed video. But I kind of want it to feel like you're present on the journey with us, because I feel like that makes it exciting. You can find out positives and negatives and all those sorts of things throughout the months, and you can see how long it takes us and all those things. I just think it will be fun and exciting. So I guess starting with where we are today. So as I say, I'm cycle day 9, so periods long gone. In theory, from lots of things that I've read, and it's one of these things where you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself and plan meticulously when things are going to happen in that, because otherwise it's not, because that doesn't make for a fun time in making it happen. It's all stressful and everyone's worrying about when the next time they need to do a baby dance is and all those things. So it's a hard mix between being prepared and knowing when to and not to, but also not putting too much thought into it. But for those of you who don't know, you only really have like a small fertile window every month, so it's not true that you can get pregnant anytime you have sex in the month, really. It's difficult because everyone ovulates at different times in the month, and it can be really late one month and early the next month. It doesn't always mean you ovulate in the middle, but in theory, if you have regular periods and you can track your body temperature and stuff every day. I haven't been doing that. I'm not going to do that this month, but I feel like maybe next month I might start that if nothing has happened and those things. But I haven't done it yet. I don't want to get too, as I say, too precious about it, because then I feel like it takes away from the fun and I don't know, I feel like it will take longer if we think too much into it, but I just also want to document it and my thoughts and feelings, because it's really hard. Even if you have a partner that wants to start the journey with you, it's still hard to have the conversations every day on how you feel, because it's not that men don't care, but it's harder for like my partner to really care about every little twinge I feel, because he'll just be like, if it happens, it happens, if it doesn't, it doesn't, sort of thing. So it's very different when you're not the person that is analysing everything your body is or isn't doing. So yeah, I'd just like to speak and waffle about how I feel, I guess. So I wanted to also share with you a few other bits I've got for like because if things happen, I want to document everything. I want to document announcing it, I want to document gender reveals, all those fun things that I've wanted for so long. I want to do it in a special way, so we know it's going to happen, but I still want it to be somewhat a surprise for my boyfriend, in the sense of I will obviously find out first, and then I want to make a big surprise announcement to him, because I think it'd be really cute and exciting and just start it off in a really cool way. So I guess that's another reason why it's nicer not to involve him in these videos, because then you get to see a genuine reaction and how things progress. I think it will just be a fun journey to document. Basically, that's where we are up to cycle day 9. That's the beginning, that's my high, this is hopefully going to happen. Even if things go wrong this try round and it, we don't end up expecting something, I'm not expecting the first month it to definitely happen. It will just happen when it happens, and I want to document the ups and the downs, because I want people to feel like it's normal and feel like they have somewhere to look and someone to talk to when they're in the 2-week wait and they're dying because they just want to test, or when their periods are all up and down, because no one's got the perfect, well, some people do, but I certainly do not have a perfect cycle every month, and with no surprises and all that. So yeah, I just think it'll be fun. If you want to follow along on our journey, don't forget to like this video, give it a massive thumbs up, and subscribe, of course, and let me know what you'd like to see from us in terms of this whole journey. Keep watching for my next video, because it'll be sort of my bits and bobs for kind of preparing announcements and things, I guess. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.